recency bias certainly applies to a lot of things, and it definitely applies to baseball fans. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say there has never been a more injured team and a more injured organization than the Atlanta Braves over a first 2 months of a single season. Ronald Acuna, the odds-on favorite to win the NL MVP. Spencer Strider, the odds-on favorite to win the NL Cy Young. Obviously, those are the two big ones, but Austin Riley, Sean Murphy has played a grand total of 3 games. AJ Smith-Shawver makes 1 start. Now he's out for multiple months. And the latest one is AJ Minter, who has now hit the 15-day IL with hip inflammation. Obviously a huge loss, especially all things considered. Pierce Johnson has spent time on the IL. And Owen Murphy, it goes down in the minor league ranks too. Owen Murphy's a guy that I've talked about profusely on this show about how good he's been in Gwinnett at 20, or not Gwinnett, High A Rome at 20 years old, a guy that I thought was in line for a promotion. It's announced that he will need Tommy John surgery. Not too worrisome, given he's only 20 years old, but it's just another thing for this organization. It's just been so snake bitten with injuries. I've never seen anything like it. Every day there's a key contributor, a big prospect gone on the IL.
Yeah, getting kicked while you're down, taken to another level for Braves country. And I say that because we've watched, in terms of expectations, the worst offense in baseball. Now, if you go look at the numbers, they're not the worst offense in baseball. Over the last month, they're damn close statistically.
They're bottom 2,
bottom
3.
Yeah. So it's been if the Braves starting pitcher doesn't go out and throw an absolute gem, we're losing the game. Like that, at this point, that's how bad the offense is going to be. Add in the injuries, and it's just getting kicked while you're down, kicking a dog while it's down, and it's happening to the Braves' best players. I think you could probably make an argument. I'm pulling this stuff way out of my butt. I could be completely wrong, but in terms of like a projection, like a WAR projection to injuries, you could make an argument. Ronald Acuna, Spencer Strider, Sean Murphy, Austin Riley, all these injuries have culminated to the greatest loss of WAR thus far in a season. And obviously that's completely out of left field. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it feels like. They're the most important players to the Spencer Strider and Ronald Acuna are undoubtedly the 2 best players on this Braves team. And they're 2 of the most important pieces to winning another World Series. And the kicks just keep coming. Now, with that being said, the 2 latest, AJ Minter, hip, not arm, positive. Owen Murphy, 20 years old, positive. You know, there are some silver linings, and I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of like what a hip could be, but it's not an elbow. It's not a shoulder. That's got to be seen as a positive.
Yeah, I mean, I have, tinfoil hat theory. They just called it a hip because they didn't want another player to go on the IL with an oblique injury because, and also, and listen, I'm not going to like call anyone out, but I'm going to call out the trainer. Like, what is going on with these guys? Like, we're not playing football. This is like this is the kind of injury list that you see on a football team in December, right? Like, this is the injury list. Like, this, we didn't even talked about Tyler Matzik. Now, it might be a ghost injury because he was struggling so bad. But, I mean, seriously, what are we at? 8, 9 guys, 2 out for the season? And most of these are just freak incidents, especially Spencer Strider, especially Ronald Acuna. And I don't honestly believe that there's like a trainer issue here. But geez, man, it's one of the most unbelievable stretches of injuries I can imagine. And then you couple it on top with the fact that nobody can hit on this team. And you're just like, it's like, I don't know how this team's 31-22.
I have no idea.
Like, it makes no sense. And I mean, I do know
we do know how.
Because Chris Sale and Max Fried and Ronaldo Lopez and this bullpen have basically been lights out. And every other day they go out there and pitch a shutout. I mean, what do they have? They have 9 shutouts this year. 9. 6 in this month. I mean, that's unbelievable. And you know,
it's nearly 30% of our wins have come via shutout.
As bad as this offense has been, right? I mean, literally, I'm not joking. And this is not just hyperbole. I'm just saying sky is falling. They have literally been terrible. Arguably the worst offense in baseball over the last 30 to 45 days. They've never been shut out. Like, isn't that the weirdest thing? They haven't been shut out all season.
Well, I know. It's not weird at all because Marcell Ozuna is literally the only person batting. Literally every single game you can count Marcell Ozuna for an RBI. Literally every single game. He's the only one who he had another one last night. He's the only one who's showing up in the box right now. The only one.
I will say Ozzy Albies did have a couple hits.
He is looking better.
He's looking better. Matt Olson had a couple of doubles yesterday. So
just string them together. Good
let's get Austin Riley back. He had his first hit back. Austin Riley. That's really the guy I'm looking at. I think Matt Olson looks like he's turned the corner, but I'm looking at Austin Riley, and I'm not blaming him. He was injured. He's coming off injury. He's still getting his timing back. But for this offense to start looking like a capable group again, it starts with Austin Riley. Like that is the guy that really has to get here and get hot and start going. And I think once that happens at that, and especially in that number 2 spot, such a pivotal spot, I think once that happens, I wouldn't even mind seeing Austin Riley in leadoff. I know we're going completely
That's crazy.
But it's kind of like that Jorge Soler situation where we did Kyle Schwarber out there in Philadelphia, because Ozzy's not really an on-base guy, right? Ozzy is not an on-base guy.
Yeah.
Against righties, I'm not against it. Michael Harris has kind of struggled, especially getting on base, even against righties. I meant lefties for Ozzy because he's better right-handed in the box. Austin Riley, though, if he starts hitting a little bit better, just have that power guy. Get the offense juice. Start with the leadoff home run. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, we're middle of the road offensively in terms of home runs. I think literally dead 15th. I don't know exactly, but dead middle pretty much. And when your best player, as of right now, with Ronald on the shelf, Austin Riley is the best offensive player the Braves have. So getting him going, that's not some hot take. Like getting your best guy playing at his best, obvious. We need Austin Riley to start playing like an MVP again. And that goes for Matt Olson too. I mean, I am still not, Matt Olson isn't what he was last year, like you are a little bit. I still think Matt Olson can carry an offense if need be, and I'm waiting for him. I know we're talking about him turning the corner. When are the bombs going to start dropping? I need Matty Bombs back, and that'll get this offense going when people start hitting home runs, when Mike Harris starts getting hits. I mean, I think his average is still over 280 right now, which doesn't seem like it because he's not hitting home runs. That OPS is still pretty low, and he's never going to be an on-base guy. The guy strikes out more than just about anybody in the league. But when this offense starts clicking, it's going to be fun. It's going to be when it rains, it pours type stuff. And I just hope it's sooner than later because it's maddening watching this offense. Like last night, I was trying to shower while the game was going on. And typically with like last year, any game, I would just shower while we were pitching. And then I would want to watch us offensively. It's the opposite now. Schwellenbach's first start had a lot to do with that. But I was like, I'm going to watch the start. And I don't even care about the offense because we're not going to score.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, it's I want to gouge my eyes out every time these guys. It's horrid to watch, and it's beyond just like the fact that they're not hitting. A lot of these at-bats are just non-competitive trash. It's garbage. and I understand why people are like, these guys don't look locked in. I really think they're just slumping. But regardless, a lot of it's been non-competitive trash. 47 first-inning home runs last year for the Atlanta Braves. You know how many they have this year? Six. They have 6. And you know how many Matt Olson and Austin Riley had, who
0.
I think had 25?
0.
1.
Yeah.
They have 1. So that, I mean, when you talk about the difference in this offense,
our best guys aren't playing their best.
It's also, I mean, I think, from the second inning on, it might be kind of something. We used to onslaught teams in the first inning, and a lot of that was Ronald Acuna getting on base and getting a steal, and you had a runner at second before the guy could even breathe. And then, by the way, here's Austin Riley and Matt Olson. That's obviously a big part that hasn't existed even when Ronald Acuna was healthy because he wasn't playing great baseball. But that first inning runs, they just have not been there. And I mean, if you're a nerfy better against the Atlanta Braves, you're just raking in cash, when last year you were probably just dying,
bleeding cash. I remember it. I'd be a little bit late to a game and it's the bottom of the first inning and it's 4-0. And I was like, what the hell? I missed half the game already.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be half because we'd scored 9 or 10 runs. Now 3 runs, it's 3 games worth. You just watch. If we score 3 runs tonight, that's 3 games worth. You better enjoy it because it has been that ugly of offense. And it's almost unexplainable because this team was so good offensively a year ago. It doesn't matter who's injured. It really doesn't matter who's injured.